Canadians across the country are being called on to serve the duty of staying at home. The measure aims to keep the infection rate of COVID-19 at bay, but for some of Canada's most vulnerable people, this can be a death sentence. Overcrowded homeless shelters are packed to the brim with even more people than usual. The City of Toronto is leasing hotel rooms to help with the issue, but advocates, such as the University of Toronto's Petra Molnar, are saying it's not enough.
So, I really do empathize with the shelter system in Toronto because it is a system that's already overburdened and underfunded before a massive crisis like a pandemic, right? So, if anything, we need an infusion of funding for these particular spaces and service provision for vulnerable community, right? As opposed to having to close them.
She says that the current crisis actually brings to light existing issues in our society that are even worse in the face of the pandemic.
I think there's this common trope going around that the COVID-19 pandemic, is the great equalizer, that it kind of experienced by everybody the same, and that couldn't really be further from the truth. We already have data that, racialized communities will be disproportionately impacted, the homeless population as well, just even from a health perspective. Because it's one thing, even, if you take social distancing or physical distancing as an example, who can actually afford to physically distance, right? It's usually people who are well off in society, who have homes and whose homes are safe.
The Government of Canada says to prepare for the quarantine to last until September. With now the 6th positive case of infection in a homeless shelter, however, advocates say that this could just be the tip of the iceberg. I'm Anita for Say News.